Hello, and welcome to Appleton Engaged. I'm your host, Timber Smith, DEI Coordinator for the City of Appleton.
And I'm Sarah Schneider, Valley Transit's Mobility Manager.
Appleton Engaged is a podcast that explores the many people, organizations, and resources that make our community a great place to live, work, and play. So whether you're a longtime resident or just getting to know Appleton, join us as we learn more about our community together.
Timber, I have a confession. I'm going to do a little name drop here right out of the gate because I know our guest today from a networking group that we're a part of and affiliated with. I respect her team, and her work, and the impact that Lynn and her community does to make an impact on our precious seniors. So I can't be more excited to have this conversation today.
Well, I'm super excited because you're excited, but I'm going to make a little confession today. I actually don't know much about today's guest and organization, so this is a learning episode for me, so I'm pretty excited about that. So this week's guest is Lynn Ann Rusch, Executive Director of the Linwood Community, a ministry of Fox Valley Lutheran Homes. Hey, Lynn Ann, how's it going?
It's nice to be here. It's going good.
Awesome. Well, we are super glad that you made time with us today and that you're going to be able to share your resource with our Appleton Engaged listeners. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your association with Appleton and the Fox Cities region?
Absolutely. I have lived and worked in Appleton for about the last 10 years, moved to Appleton as I married, and my position with Linwood is a retirement gig. My background and long-term working experience is as an administrator with USDA in Northeast Wisconsin. Once I retired from the USDA, I completed my master's in community counseling at Lakeland and discovered my passion for working with older adults. After 5 years with the Fox Valley Memory Project as a program coordinator, I accepted the director position at Linwood Community.
Oh, that's awesome. So 10 years you've been with us here in the Valley?
I have.
That's pretty awesome. So we appreciate that. Well, let's jump in. Can you please tell us about your resource?
Absolutely. We are a senior living community established in 1994 as a nonprofit, originally sponsored and formed by the Evangelical Lutheran Church in Appleton, the Appleton Conference Churches. Our mission is to provide a faith-based, inclusive, and safe, independent living experience for moderate-income adults ages 62 and over. We are called Fox Valley Lutheran Homes formally, but we like to call ourselves Linwood Community, and we made that formal switch a few years ago because we want everyone to know that everyone is welcome at Linwood, and we are not exclusive only to Lutherans. The independent community has got 42 apartments, both 1 and 2 bedrooms. Our tenants are community. They support each other and create a welcoming environment for all. All of our apartments have a balcony, a full kitchen, and access to our building is secure, which is a big deal for older adults especially. They want to make sure that everybody knows who's in the building. There's nobody roaming our halls unless they are with another tenant. We have underground parking. Our apartments include cable, Wi-Fi, water, and sewer. So the tenants basically pay their rent and their electricity. We have a wonderful community room called Linwood Commons. It's open to all tenants and their guests. We do book club, exercise and Tai Chi classes, social lunches, movie nights, musical entertainment, intergenerational activities like youth groups come in and do programming with our adults. Young kids will come in and do bingo. They'll read stories.
Wait a minute now. This sounds like a good time, Lynn.
It is a good time.
Right? Can anybody jump in?
Absolutely. You want to come play bingo? Come on down. Bring some prizes.
Now, wait a minute now. I'm a serious bingo player now.
Every Thursday night. Come on, join us.
That's awesome.
I love this.
Movie nights, musical entertainment. If you have a talent, come on down and share it with us. We do have people that come in and will provide a worship service. Tenants organize their own Bible study. They play sheephead. They play fast track and poker. The unique thing is we don't have a budget for a recreational director. Our programs are pretty much tenant-led. So tenants organize potlucks, tenants organize the bingo nights, which is unique because then they have the programs that they want. Unique to our community, besides our apartments and our tenants themselves, We have a wonderful staff, but I want to point out two special staff members that really support the needs of our tenants. The first one is called a wellness coordinator. She supports our tenants and families with resources to support health, wellness, and their social needs. She's a great source of information for tenants and their families with health-related questions. She'll also provide education and guest speakers on wellness-related issues. Her programs that she holds at least twice a month include how to prevent falls, how to eat healthy, advanced directives. We all need to make sure we have an advanced directive. As we age, we have special needs for foot care, dental care. She'll talk about fire prevention, hearing loss, vision loss. Visually impaired people have a meeting once a month in our building because several of our tenants are living with vision loss. The other person I want to shout out to is our resource advocate. We hired a person to fill this position for 3 years. It's funded by the Elderly Endowment of the Lutheran Churches, and it is to support our tenants and their families to access community resources. Many times you have an older adult that doesn't have a child that can help them with an online application or using their computer. So this person helps tenants apply for community resources. She has applied and supported people for energy assistance, rental assistance, veteran benefits, a lot of work with scams. I swear we could have a scam program once a week and still have problems with education and scams because there's always something.
Oh, yeah.
How unfortunate is that?
Yes.
Questions with bills. Sometimes tenants would rather just pay the bill than to question the bill with the vendor. So she'll sit down with them and help them find out what the bill is. And many times it's a misunderstanding and the bill is incorrect and get it corrected for them. She'll do education programs. She brought in people on how to do wills, how to plan your funeral, what your next step is when you can no longer live independently, because sadly, that's a distinct possibility for all of us. The position is grant funded for 3 years. Year 1, she has focused on our 44 tenants, and then year 2, she is going out to the supporting congregations to support the seniors in those communities, and her year 3 of this grant will be to support the general population of Appleton with seniors and what kind of resources she can help them attain.
What's the demographic? And what I mean is, how old do you got to be able to live in the?
Timber, I don't think you're old enough yet.
Wait, don't judge me.
It's that baby face, Timber.
That's right. Because this is sounding like a good time, and I'm thinking, wow.
Yeah, people have to be 62 and over.
Okay.
And we have, I would say that 65% of our tenants are women, and the balance are men. And we have, I think right now we have 3 husband and wife couples living in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Okay.
That's really cool. Of all the things you've shared, I've been listening with a keen ear on your language around older adults. And for a while you were saying older adults repeatedly, and I thought I was in error by opening up the program to say that you care so dearly for our precious seniors. But then you integrated seniors, and then I was thinking, what is the appropriate way to respectfully address the older adults in our community? Or are all of those descriptions interchangeable?
That's a tough call because some people, just people that live by us, number one, they do not want to be called residents. Because a resident will give the vibe of living in a nursing home.
Sure.
So they like to be called tenants, and they will be very clear when somebody comes and says something about, oh, you all residents, we're tenants. So they're clear on that. What do you want to be called when you're an older adult?
It's probably the best frame of reference you can give.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it like that. The first thing that popped in my mind was granddaddy. That's just my thing. When I finally have some grandchildren, I am determined that we're going to have to work that term out.
Well, I think that's no different than when somebody becomes a grandparent. What do they want to be called? Do they want to be called grandma, grandmother, nana, or whatever? Because there's an aspect of aging that we all have to cope with.
Yes. I don't know. I think I would be cool with senior or older adult. I mean, they're both appropriate to me.
Yeah, we struggle with that because there are other words that people don't like to be called. But we pretty much settled on seniors and older adults.
That's good.
We don't want to be called elderly.
No.
That's true.
I don't think anybody likes that. There's a connotation to that.
Right.
What what don't we understand? What is a myth that people have about senior living?
Well, for Linwood, we do not provide care. We are an independent community, so that's important for people to understand. There are plenty of places in our community that provide assisted kind of living. The other thing I guess a lot of people don't understand is the tight-knit community that our tenants have with each other. They care for each other. They check in with each other daily. We have a system where we have a program going on. We have a little magnet on everybody's apartment door, and then we hope that they check out what's going on in the apartment complex. Well, the next question is, how long has that note been hanging on their door? Because if that note has been on their door more than 24 hours, we'll be making a wellness check just because we're concerned and care about people. Tenants, when they go visit family for a week, they'll let us know because their neighbors will know if they're not around and people worry about them. So they really do care for each other.
I love how you framed community and the intimacy and the connectivity and all of the things that are unique. That leads me to ask, because I'm assuming you have some really dynamic stories that you could share. Can you give us a couple examples to help our listeners understand the importance of your community?
Well, I think one of the things that is a feel good for me is when we, sadly lose a member of our community to death, that quite often family will designate us, Linwood, as a memorial. And that's just a real rewarding thing that people are thinking in death yet that their loved one is still supporting our community in many ways. When I think about our staff, our resource coordinator has worked with one of our tenants that's a veteran, and he has applied, and then she helped him reapply for benefits, and successfully he has won his appeal and is earning benefits, and he is now getting medical assistance through VA with diabetic supplies, and that's a huge income gain for him. And that tenant's just eternally grateful for the support. Our wellness coordinator, one of her roles is to interview prospective tenants before they come in to make sure, number one, they're capable of living independently. Because the last thing we want is to help somebody move in and then find out that they need more help, support to stay healthy than what we can give them. And at the end of their tenancy, her role is to support that family on what the next step is. If we're finding that Jane is no longer coming down to community events, she's lost the will to socialize, or she can't hear the fire alarm, or she's not answering her door because she can't hear, or she's depressed, our next step is to sit down with her and the family and figure out what's next. And we have some wonderful supporting community resources that we can refer to help them figure out what that next step is.
How often do spaces become available, and how long does an individual typically stay?
I've had people that have been there 15 years. I just had a lady that in the last year that had been there 15 years, and she is going to be 102. She has since moved to assisted living. I've had tenants typically come and they stay until they need to move on to more care. I have a lady right now that's been there 16 years, and she's going strong, and she's 92.
That's amazing. Actually, that's, I've read some books, and they say when you have a supporting community, it creates longevity of life.
And I really never thought about the word community the way I talk about it now until I started working at Linwood. I feel like I have another whole family of people when I come into the office in the morning.
Are there any upcoming initiatives, events, or engagement opportunities?
Of course, we have some fun stuff.
Outside of bingo, because I'm coming.
All right, Thursday night at 6:45, just FYI.
All right.
Every Thursday night.
Every Thursday night. Don't be messing with holding another meeting at 6:45 on Thursday night. Pie and ice cream social, always in June, typically the Sunday after Father's Day. Our congregation supporters and our tenants make a plethora of tasty homemade pies. Donations of ice cream. I'm very thankful for all that support. That is a fundraiser. Then this is year 3 of our summer concert series. It is not necessarily, we don't call it a fundraiser, but it is a fellowship event. We use the park across the street, which is Linwood Park, and we invite our neighbors, our congregation friends, our donors, anybody that wants to come and chill with us. And we have a great afternoon of fun, music, and fellowship. It's at Linwood Park. We do take a free will offering and ask people to bring a lawn chair. This summer we have a New Orleans jazz band called Talk of the Towns. Elvis John is coming in August, and a gospel group from Hilbert, Voices of Peace, are going to come and play for us in September.
That's a pretty extensive list. I am curious to understand, what is the fundraising generating money for? Where does that money get either reinvested, or do you pay it forward?
Sure. Our income, about 70% of our income of operating of Linwood comes from our rent. The other 30% we generate with donations and fundraising.
That's absolutely awesome.
And in-kind donations, lots of in-kind donations.
That's really good to know. So in essence, the listeners could make a contribution if something you're sharing today is touching their heart. You accept donations?
Absolutely. I would accept a cash donation. We'll accept in-kind donations. We have an annual online harvest auction coming up in September/October. You want to make a basket or a product, or you have tickets you'd like to donate. Those are all the things that help us keep our rent reasonable and attainable for the tenants that live with us.
So I did kind of go into how the community can contribute financially. What else could the community do to be helpful?
I'm always looking for volunteers. If you have time and or talent, you're welcome to come and spend some time with us. I can always use help with grounds care. I can always use help if somebody wants to hop on a riding lawnmower, basic building maintenance, putting mulch in our flower beds. If your talents lean towards music or art or planning social gatherings, we can always use your gifts to create engagement opportunities in our community room. Remember before we talked a little bit about how important socialization is to seniors? The more programming and events we can have in our commons, the more opportunities it is for people to get out and meet their neighbors and socialize. And we all feel better when we've had a little bit of time of socialization. If you play piano, come play for us for a half an hour, 45 minutes. You paint, come teach us, do a paint class with us. Share a travel log on a vacation or a trip you took. I'm always looking for new members on our board and our board committees, including our property committee, our mission and ministry team. And if you got marketing and development skills, I'd be more than happy to have you come join us and support our ministry.
I love it. I can only imagine all the ways that you just tugged at people's heartstrings about how they can help. And I think that's incredible that we can contribute what we have the gifts to offer. So thank you for sharing that. And
volunteers don't have to come weekly. If you have something you want to program, if you want to come plan a 4th of July party for us or a Labor Day party, come plan a party. It can be a one-time shot.
Well, now I'm assuming people are jumping at the shop to do this. So how can people contact you if they want to learn more?
Sure. People can contact us right through my email, lynn.fvlhomes@gmail.com. Phone number 920-734-7225. We have a website, which you can get my contact information from. It's fvlhomes.org.
Lynn, is there any additional information you feel is important for the Appleton Engaged listeners to know about that maybe we didn't ask a question about today?
If you have a family member that is 62 and over and you're concerned about them living alone, that maybe the house is too hard for them to take care of, that they're not getting out, they're not getting their grocery shopping done, they're not engaging socially, please feel free to give us a call, take a tour, and get on our waiting list. Sometimes people sit on our waiting list for a year and a half because maybe they want apartment on the west side or apartment on the east side, or they want a specific style of apartment. But sometimes people can be on our waiting list for a couple months and something just happens to open up that fits right. So if you have a loved one that may need some socialization and may need some support, please give us a call, give us a tour, and you're not out of thing just to come take a visit.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I also am hearing you from the top of this hour to this very minute express the activities, the people, the dynamic, the culture, and I'm thinking there are probably some specific people or things within all of that to make it possible. Do you have any specific shout-outs to
Well, I'm
share?
going to do a couple general shout-outs first. I have tenants that if we need somebody to get the lawn cut that week, they hop on a lawnmower and they cut our lawn at 92. I have tenants that do our storyboard on our TV so that when people get their mail, there's a TV screen that says what's going on this week. Tenants take care of that. If we have an event in the commons, tenants come and set up the kitchen and clean up the kitchen, pie and ice cream. They'll come down and cut the pies for us, serve the pies, clean up. So shout out to all those tenants that support their community. Then I want to take it to our sponsors, our event sponsors. R&R Insurance has done a wonderful job of insuring us, number one. Number two, sponsoring our Pie and Ice Cream Social. Care Patrol of the Fox Cities has been great sponsoring our concert series and supporting our tenants as they find the need to transition to something besides independent living. All senior movers are just awesome gentlemen that help seniors move from one home to another. They also are a sponsor of some of our programs. And St. Mark's Church in Neenah has also sponsored some of our music events coming up. So we're excited about that. Our board members, there's too many to mention, but they are there. They're supporting. They not only support us by coming to meetings, all of our board members support us financially as well, which shows us how important they believe our mission is, which is just heart-touching to me. Local congregations have been great. When it comes to our auction in fall, they'll put a basket together, and then they'll bid on that basket. I have a gentleman that makes biscotti, and he's a worldwide known biscotti maker, and people are bidding on that until it's like crazy amount of money for biscotti. But all those people have just, they're small acts when somebody's making a batch of pies or biscotti, but it all connects and it really supports us.
Okay. Lynn, Ann, we just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to be here.
At this time, we're going to start wrapping up this episode. Appleton Engaged listeners, we want to say thank you for giving us your minds and ears, for caring about another amazing resource within our community, making this a better place. But, we are in the progress of trying to become the #1 podcast in Northeast Wisconsin, and we can't do it without your help. So how can you help? A couple of simple things. If you've got any ideas of how we can improve the show, if there's new questions you would like us to ask our guests, or if you would like to be a guest, or if you would like to recommend a guest, please feel free to reach out to us at diversity@appleton.org. Also, we think we have something pretty special here, and that the more community members that learn about this podcast known as Appleton Engaged are people who are making this a better community because they understand the resources that are available and how to get engaged into our community. But for us to get in front of more eyes and ears, we need you to hit your subscribe button or take a little time and fill out a review and let us know how we're doing. This gives us better analytics. The better the analytics, the more community members learn about this gem known as Appleton Engaged.
And I heard whether you're 62, 92, or 102, there's a vibrant, social, connected, active place right here in Appleton, Wisconsin. And I really want some of that bingo and biscotti. So until next time, stay thoughtful, stay curious, and stay engaged.